The Transition Monitoring Group has asked Senate President Bukola Saraki to follow global best practices by stepping down immediately and face criminal charges on false assets declaration at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The group chairman, Ibrahim Zakirulahi, while briefing journalists on the current realities in the country, said that the Senate President should put sanctity of the legislature above every other consideration.
The leadership of the National Assembly is currently morally challenged. That integrity deficit has been accentuated by the recent Supreme Court judgment, which ordered the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, to go face criminal trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal (CCT). Whatever modicum of respect enjoyed by the Senate will be further obliterated by the time the number 3 citizen is mopping from the dock and answering to charges of false asset declaration. TMG expects Dr. Saraki to put the sanctity of the legislature above every other consideration by stepping down immediately. While we agree that his trial at the CCT does not automatically translate to guilt over the charges, we call on the Senate President to follow global best practices.
The group also took a swipe at the Supreme Court over its judgment on Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Abia State's governorship elections and described the judgment as a clear incentive for electoral brigandage, saying the apex court turned a blind eye to justice.
Recent Supreme Court verdicts on some state elections, specifically Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Abia, are a clear incentives for electoral brigandage. The disturbing trend in this judicial pronouncement is in the fact that the apex court has elected to give judgments and not justice. In the face of unrepentant attempts to subvert the will of the people in a good number of the cases, the court has curiously turned a blind eye to justice.
The group, however, said that the 5,000 naira conditional cash transfer component in the 2016 budget could have been channeled into a well-thought-out program of industrialization targeting Nigerians in the 774 local government areas.
Our argument here is that the government proposal is going to go up about trillion of naira to alleviate the sufferings of the people in their own methodology, creating some jobs and then giving out cash. But for us, Nigeria wants something that they can see and they can feel. We feel that devoting 1 billion naira to establishing one industry per local government, the 774 local government in Nigeria, by spending 774 billion naira, you would have established 774 industries. And no industry, by our own estimation, will be established by 1 billion naira that will employ less than 200 people. And this will reduce the drift from rural area to the city.
Osam Raffle, Ben Television.
Reactions have continued to trail the recent increase in the electricity tariff by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC). NEC had on 9 February commenced the removal of fixed charges, saying consumers would now have to pay for only what they consume. Some electricity consumers who spoke with Ben Television in Abuja expressed their disappointment over the increment and called for the reversal of the new policy.
The increment is not something that should be called for right now at all, because you can't expect people to be paying for what services they are not getting. Most people in this Nigeria, for 1 month, they don't get light, they don't get electricity in their area, and you're expecting them to pay, not just pay, they keep paying more, which is not called for. You find out that some people in those areas, some people's area in this Nigeria, they don't have transformer. They expect them to buy transformer themselves. They expect them to buy the cables and wires they will use to connect those transformers. They expect them to pay NEPA that will come and connect those transformers for them. And at the end of it, you still not give them light and you're expecting them to pay.
On my own side as a Nigerian, I see it as a kind of a wickedness on the part of federal government. The 45% increment in tariff, to me, is not a welcome idea. At least what Nigerians should be enjoying from this new APC administration right now is a way of trying to focus on the investment made so far by the previous government, and at least people's salaries are not being increased, and they are increasing electricity tariff.
What the government has succeeded in doing is putting the cart before the horse, and except stringent measures are taken, it will go a long way in really, bringing the image of the present government into disrepute, because the masses remain the pillar and pivot of any democracy.
Nigerian Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, and civil society group had on Monday staged a nationwide protest against the new tariff. According to them, most electricity consumers are not metered and are constantly being overcharged for services not rendered.
Any bill that is based on estimation, that is also based on the current tariff, because the fair process of dialogue, of a consultation, of also getting the opinion of consumers, which is the trend all over the world, have not been followed. And therefore we are saying no to this undemocratic process of impunity and imposition. Comrades, if we don't continue to stand up for our rights, certainly people will continue to take us for granted. Nigerians have realized, and I'm happy today, the report we have so far received from the length and breadth of this country, all Nigerians are in unison about the fact that this increase should be rejected. Is that our position here?
Today is to show you that Nigerians all over the Federation have said no to your tariff increase. If you had not seen the strength of Nigerians, by now you should be very, very clear and understand that Nigerians have come of age. The era when Nigerians will be treated impunity is over.
We have listened to their complaints. We have listened to their complaint. We assure them that we assure you that we are going to convey a complaint to the commission. Right now, the commission has not yet been reconstituted, but we are aware that any moment from now, the federal government will reconstitute the constitution. So all these complaints are going to be forwarded to them. Thank you very much.
Senate President Bukola Saraki and Senator Dino Melaye, while addressing the organized labor at the National Assembly complex, promised of the National Assembly's readiness and willingness to address the issue.
I want to assure you that the Senate is about the people, and the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria is clear, where it stipulated clearly that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary occupation of government. And I want to assure you that that will not change. If you recollect, even before now, we too had observed that this issue of tariff and some of the policies was not palatable. And we summoned the NNERC. Even before now, we are with you. We will stand with you and ensure that no policy will be in any way that is not palatable to the masses and to the people.
From Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has called on Nigerians to embrace the newly hiked electricity tariff. The minister, in a chat with journalists in Abuja, said the hike in the electricity tariff was as a result of increase in the price of power component.
Electricity is a product. It is made from raw materials. Some of the raw materials are gas. Some of the raw materials are power plants. They are also labor. So the issue of tariff is a simple issue of price. When the raw materials costs go up, the price cannot stay the same. Now, you will probably ask, oh, why can't we have more power first before price goes up. I would like that to happen too.
The minister also explained that the new hike in the tariff was meant to sustain power supply across the country.
We see that investments in power are not where they should be by government. And because part of the reason why government opted for privatization was to get more private capital in. If the recovery price and the income and profit price doesn't make economic sense to the investors, would you do that business if you were the one as well, if you can't recover? So all of you represent media houses. There are costs to your advertisement rates. If the costs don't make sense to your business economics, clearly you won't carry adverts.
Muyiwa Bamdele reporting from Abuja.
Suites, number 1 AMO Road off Epoch GRA, Benin City, Edo State. Website www.prestigehotel.com.ng. Email info@prestigehotel.com.ng. Telephone number 070-620-84038, 081-519-74044. Prestige Hotel and Suites, world-class hospitality.
In order to ensure that the Nigerian Federal Capital Territory takes its pride of place among federal capital cities in the world, the FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello has urged all directors and senior management staff of the Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA) and the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) to put all hands on deck to make sure that the city is kept clean and orderly in compliance with the Abuja Master Plan and in line with the laws that established it. The FCT boss, who stated this during a walking tour of the city with the management staff, said that the current face of the city does not portray a capital city and a fast developing one at that.
The facilities are there, but even then, look at the embankment and curbs on the side of the road. Starting from there to there, you see that a lot of them are out of alignment. Some of them are even lined up. So these are some of the issues I want you to see. And I want you to think about it. Starting from next week, there will be a weekly management meeting where all the heads of all the mandate secretaries and all the agencies will come with their assistants, including the FCDA and all the heads of the units, under the leadership of the PAMSA, on my delegated authority. And whenever I have opportunity, I'll sit with you. But you have to sit down and tell yourself the truth and look at all this and use all the God-given powers and experience that God has given you. And then you sit down and see how do we move forward.
While giving a background to what necessitated the tour of the city, the FCT minister said that he has been observing the trend and the way things have gone wrong in the city, especially in the areas of cleanliness, street hawking, and beggars who have consistently defaced one of the fastest growing cities in the world.
The whole idea is for us to go around and for me to convey to them the feedback I've been receiving since I resumed office from the citizens regarding what they want of Abuja, and also, of course, to show them what the citizens have shown me in respect of areas where obviously we are lacking in terms of performance.
The minister promised to repeat the exercise periodically. Over the years, the issue of trying to see what is on ground in the Federal Capital Territory has been a challenge, especially for ministers that come to head this ministry. But today, as you can see, the Honorable Minister has gone round major places in the city that needs to be cleaned. He personally took the directors and some stakeholders in a bus they were discussing to point out things and areas they need to improve. Nigerians are watching. In the next 6 months, what is going to happen to this laudable plan of the FCT?
Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, said the federal government is working out modality at the interministerial level for the payment of 5,000 naira social scheme welfare for unemployed Nigerian youth. Ngige explained that the provision for the social scheme are being catered for in the 2016 budget proposal.
If you are not employed for now, this will be an ad hoc arrangement by which we want you to have something. Even while doing teacher conversion, we'll be paying them something. We can, the program is that we can pay them between 10, 15,000, or even their youth core allowance. We are doing the budgeting. It's an interministerial thing. It will be domiciled in Ministry of Education because it's an education thing. But Ministry of Labour, Ministry of Youth will drive it, with Labour being the pivot.
The minister also explained that the measure had been put in place to ensure that the scheme was not hijacked by the politician.
That is why I'm there. That is why the president posted me there. The president posted me because he said this is a challenging assignment. And I want somebody who doesn't bend very easily. They say I don't bend very easily. So, nobody will hijack when Ngige is there.
In Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.